If you struggle to ask for what you want when it comes to manifesting, if you feel like you're not getting the big results that you desire, this video is for you. Welcome to episode 6 of the Wealthy Me podcast. I am Tasha, and I guide women right into their wealthy era where wealth equals joy, fulfillment, and easy and relaxed financial freedom. So let's jump right into it. This morning, we're talking about manifesting 101, how to ask for what you want. I just want to tell you that every single thing, and I actually spent the entire weekend just looking back through like hundreds of journals, and every single thing in my life that has blown my mind when it comes to manifesting, every single thing have one thing in common, and it was my willingness to ask for it. So people will look from the outside and be like, oh, she's lucky. Oh, she was born under the right stars, into the right family. She got all the right things. And none of that is true. But here is the one thing that I just want you to know before we jump into this conversation. The one thing that is true is that I have a willingness to ask for the things that I desire. Now, this whole conversation is going to be for the women out there like me. I love you all. You know, I speak not from the soapbox, but literally I speak from down there amongst you because that wasn't the right way to say that. But I sit with you on this one because this is me. This is some of the stuff that I've had to overcome when it comes to manifesting, or when it comes to like getting the big results, watching other people experience the things that my heart desire and wonder like, what's up with me? What am I doing wrong? And just have to figure it out. So I'm really excited for this conversation. Get your pen and paper ready. We're going to talk about 5 of the lessons I learned around manifesting mind-blowing big things. I'm talking about 7 figures in business, the husband of my dreams, the most incredible, like, dream come true vacations all over the world, my dream car, sending my daughter to school on like the best schools, and manifesting that she got scholarships or that I could afford to pay the balance. Like all the big, I look back at my life and I'm like, how did you do that? How? And I can't make sense of it other than I was willing to ask. All right. So jump in. Here we go. Let's get ready. The first thing I want every woman here watching to write down is this: no ask equals no get. If you don't ask, you cannot get. And this is all about how to, ask in a way that you actually receive. Because a lot of people are going, but Tasha, I'm writing in my intentions. I'm writing out what I want. I am asking, but I'm not like receiving, right? So just remember, whatever you're not willing to ask for means you can't get it, period. Okay? So thanks, Rhonda. No ask equals no get. Now, we all know this. Those of us that are believers, we know, because we've heard this a million times, you have not because you ask not. So when you look around at all the other people that have and are experiencing the things that you desire, and you're probably making yourself wrong about it, I think a really good question to self-reflect on is, well, but do I ask for those things, right? You have not because you ask not. So no ask equals no get. Everybody watching, make sure you go ahead and type that. All right. So of the 5 lessons that I'm going to share with you, the first lesson is the formula, because I think we need to be reminded, and this is from the scripture, which I say is the greatest book on how to manifest, how to actually live a life of abundance, how to live the life that we were all created to live. Like the Bible tells us exactly what to do. So the formula for asking is given to us in the Bible. All right, so get ready. This is from Mark 11, verse 24. And it says, ask and you shall receive. But here is the most important part of that scripture, because we hear that all the time, right? Ask and you shall receive. I mean, that was all I knew for the longest while. Ask and you shall receive. Great. Well, I'm asking. Where is the receiving? Right? I'm asking an awful lot, but my receiving is a fraction of my ask. So what was the thing that switched that caused me to go into receiving all of the things that I ask for. This next part, ask believing that you have received and you shall receive. That's the part we don't talk about a lot. We know the ask and you shall receive part. We know it by heart. But the part that really matters from that whole scripture, that text, is this piece. Ask believing that you have already received and you shall receive. So just want to start off with, what is the formula? Manifesting 101. What is the formula for making sure that all of the things that I'm asking for, I actually receive? Number one, if you're not asking for it, can't receive it. But the formula, really the basics, let's go back, is to ask believing that you have received and you shall receive. All right. Now, yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Asking, believing, and you shall receive. So number one lesson I learned was the formula. I needed to include belief, right? Now, I was like, okay, got it. That is the formula. Ask, believing I have already received and I will receive. So number two, ask for what you want. But hear me out, not just like, okay, the little things. Ask for what you sincerely and truly, with all of your heart, desire. Not what you think is safe, not what you think is reasonable, not what you can do yourself. Like, if you can do it yourself, don't even bother using manifesting 101, right? Like, if you figured it out, you can work, you can do the thing, you can use your effort, you can get it, then you don't really need manifesting. But if you really want to leverage the superpower that God, universe, source has placed in every single one of us human beings, you really want to activate the superpower to receive by asking, then you want to ask for the stuff that you truly want, like the stuff you can't figure out how to get, but you really, really, really want it. And so one of the things that I know when it comes to asking is that high achieving women, this is where we struggle the most. We struggle to ask. And I've been talking a lot about the 6 different identities, predictive identities that our brain uses to determine how we experience life. What are the things that we receive? And let's just talk about financially and in our success, right? What are the things that, based on how our brain identifies us, it is allowing us to receive? Well, let's go back to the beginning. If the beginning of receiving is asking, then that predictive model that your brain has of who it thinks you are is determining what you're willing to ask for, how you're willing to ask, right? So I always say it's like the Weather Channel app. You go into the Weather Channel and you say, I'm going to go to North Carolina for the next 6 days. And you look on the app and it tells you day by day, hour by hour, what the weather is going to be. Your brain is doing that exact same thing based on not where you're going, like North Carolina, but it determines this is who you are. And therefore, this is what's going to happen in your life, minute by minute, hour by hour, year by year, into eternity, unless you change it. But let's look at the 6 different identities really quickly, right? I'm going to actually go through the 5 of them that keeps us locked. And I would say, like, really playing small. And I'm going to talk through real quick each one. So if you've been watching my content over the last couple of weeks, I've been talking a lot about this identity. Go back and watch the prior videos. You'll see where I talk about it a little bit more. But number 1 is the survivor, right? So if your brain thinks of you as survivor, how is it going to ask? It's only going to ask for just enough so you stay in survival mode. You're not going to ask big. Okay. Now, if you are the responsibility carrier identity, your brain sees you as the person who carries, like, heavy responsibility for other people and other people's success. So what does your brain do when it goes to ask? It's not going to ask for you. It's going to ask for everybody else, or it's going to ask for you so you can just give it to everybody else, right? So it's going to limit you also in even asking for a lot. That creates a ton of burden on your mind and your brain processing, because if you get a lot, that means a lot of people are going to require things of you or ask a lot of you, right? So you actually, like, almost don't even want to ask for too much. So think about that. Now let's talk about the hustler, the figure outer. You are like, well, why bother ask? I'll just figure out how to do it, right? I'll just figure out. I mean, and even if you do ask, like you come to something like this and it's manifesting 101 and you're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to ask. You're going to ask. You're going to do the whole process. And then you're just going to go figure out how to do it yourself, right? Which PS blocks the entire process. Okay. Let's talk about the play small protector identity. When your brain sees the need for you to play small so you don't have to be visible, what is it going to ask for? Stuff that keeps you small. Or it's not going to make you ask at all. It's not going to make you ask, because the minute you get what you really want, it's going to mean visibility. It's going to mean being out there. People are going to see you as successful. And to your brain, that's the most dangerous thing ever. So it's going to block your asking. Let's talk about the undeserving achiever. This is the predictive identity number 5. This brain identity, what it causes you to do is go, yeah, that big stuff, it's not for people like me. Like 7 figures, not for people like me. Being able to manifest like the business of my dreams, working with those types of clients, that's for people who are really smart, who really have it all together, who really have their funnels in place. Like all of that's not me, right? And so your brain creates how you ask based on what you think you deserve. Hopefully this is all making sense to you all. Let's just say most of the women that I support fall in one of those 5 categories. There's a 6th brain identity, which is the money multiplier, the wealthy me. And that's the identity that we want to work on getting our brains to accept as to who we are. But I'm not going to go into that today, because I just want you to see, like, if asking is step 1 and your brain is predicting what you can ask for, how you can ask, how you believe you can receive, well, you can see, like, out the gate, we got a limiting factor, right? So when people talk about when they say the sky's the limit and you're the only one limiting yourself, that's what they mean. The way your brain thinks about who you are and what's possible for you actually impacts what you ask for. Let me know in the comments. Is this landing? Is this making sense? Are you seeing how your brain could be identifying you as one of these and therefore impacting what you ask for when you go to manifest? Let me know in the comments, right? And I want to tell you about one of my clients. She is just your classic textbook high achieving woman, right? Very smart, very logical. She works in data analytics. So, that's how her brain functions. Like, it needs to make sense. She is the classic figure outer hustler. I want a lot. I want big money. I want, big contracts. I want my business to get to 7 figures. Great. That means I got to work my behind off down to the bone. Okay. That's how her brain logically maps that, right? Figure outer hustler. You want big things? Great. You can ask for it. Go ahead, ask, honey. But now let's get to work. Okay. Let's just hustle till we literally, some of the things that she would say is, okay, great. I'm making good money, but I'm exhausted. I never see my family. My marriage is in shambles. Like, all of the effects of just hustling for what you ask. What's the point? Right? So we had a conversation, and I really just gave her permission. Like, you get to ask for what you want. You get to ask for what you want. And she posted in our group, you know what? She won $130,000 contract. And one of the things that she said, I got really clear on what I wanted. I journaled about it, which is the way she asked. And then she won the contract, right? $130,000. So think about that. One ask equals 130,000. And actually, that was pounds. So in dollars, that's probably 140, 150,000. Just because she was willing to ask, get really clear on what she wants, and then ask for it. I mean, I don't know. Would that be worth it to you? Like, would you be willing to step outside of what your brain thinks is possible and just acknowledge, you know what? I'm going to keep it real. This is what I really want. So every woman watching, do you feel like you ask big? When you go to journal, are you asking for what seems reasonable? Are you asking for what you think you can receive? Are you asking from the place of, you know what? Like, if this and this and this and this and this happens, I see how I could get that. Or are you literally willing to ask for stuff that doesn't even make sense to you? Like, but you know you want it. You cannot figure out in your logical brain how it could happen, and you're willing to really ask. So what I see with most people is they ask within the confines of either what they've experienced, what they think is reasonable, what their brain can logically accept, versus being willing to just be honest and true. Another way that women will say to me is, I don't really know what I want. I'm not clear, which is your classic, your brain, again, filtering through that identity and trying to block you from being honest about what you want, right? I remember when I finally wrote down what I truly wanted in a husband, that's when I met my husband. That's when he came up. All the other times I was writing about like what everybody said I should want, what, you know, seemed reasonable, I got to the point where I was just like, let him breathe. Right. And then finally I was like, this is ridiculous. What do you really, 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 what would blow your mind if this man existed? And that is what I asked for. Right. And then that's when he showed up. Why? Because God, universe, source sometimes is not allowing you to receive what you ask for, because it's not what you really want. It's not the truly in your heart what you really want. It's what you think is reasonable, what you think you can have, what you think might come easy or fast, but it's not what you truly, truly want. So are you willing to ask big? Are you asking big? Are you really clear? Ask for what you want. Ask for what you truly want. Now, number 3, start with belief that you have already received. The formula was number 1, ask, but the second part was ask as if you believe that you've already received. Therefore, when you ask like this, your ask is not I'm asking to receive. Your ask is a thank you. So write that, everybody watching. My ask equals thank you. I want your brain to get this little secret formula. If I believe that I've already received, I'm not asking to get it. My son blew my mind. He was 17 years old. He came home from church one Sunday and we were having this conversation, you know, starting his little business. And every week he would set his goals and all of this. And I said, do you pray about your business? Do you pray, you know, for the things that you want, that you'll meet the right clients and you'll get the right opportunities? And he looked at me like I was a unicorn. And he was like, no, I don't pray like that. I pray in thanks that I've received those things. And I was like, that's what that means. Like, that's it. If when I go to ask, I already believe that I've received it, then I'm not asking to get it. I'm actually thanking that I've received it. That's like, that right there is the difference between, do you believe that it's already yours, or are you asking, hoping you will receive it? Just be honest with yourself. When you go to write that big thing, are you like, it's a wish. I'm wishing on a star. I'm blowing it off out there into the universe. Like, okay, that's wishing. Okay. And if you're like, why am I not manifesting? Because this right here is the crux of it. Do you believe that it's already yours? One of the things that really helps me with believing is knowing that when I ask, the answer is never no. Because a lot of women, especially high achieving women, especially those of us that grew up where as a child we were asking for things and always being told no, right? So sometimes that blocks our asking, because we're like, well, what's the point of asking? The answer is going to be no. I'm not going to get it. And you have no idea how subconsciously that limits your ask. So one of the things that helped me, because I really struggled with believing I could get some of these things, right? Through the filter of, well, I'm asking, I can't believe I'm really going to get it. I'm going to try my best. I'm going to visualize every day. I'm going to affirm every day. I'm going to write it 10 times. I'm going to tattoo it on my arms, right? Because I know I need to believe that I need to believe that I've received it already the second I ask, but I don't really believe. And so one of the things that really helped me, because I do have that wound where as a kid, There were things that I really, really, really wanted. There was this one pair of shoes I really wanted. And when I asked, the answer was no. And it's like that one memory is just stuck there, right? So every time I go to ask, it's like that's the filter from which I was asking and not able to believe I could receive. But the answer is never no. The answer is always yes, not now, or something better. Yes, not now, or something better. The answer is never no. So, can you believe that you have received it the second you ask, the second you acknowledge, I have this desire for this thing? Like in that moment, you've already received it. It's done. Like literally, God, universe, source is such a gentleman. Like, out there in the vortex of the universe is every single thing that was meant for you in this lifetime. It's literally already there in an escrow with your name on it. Done. The second you came to earth, it was, this is for her, right? And throughout your life experience, how do you get the things that have your name on it in the universe? It comes through desire. Oh, you know what? I just realized I want this. I want this kind of business. I want to work with these kind of clients. I want to make this kind of revenue. The desire that comes into your awareness is the match to the stuff that's in escrow for you, that has your name on it. Okay. And so, the second you acknowledge a desire, okay, yeah, I want that. That sounds amazing. I do want that. Can I have that? Yes, you can. The second you acknowledge the desire, it's already done. It's already yours. Period. The end. So the answer is never no. But sometimes how you ask, is the thing that's blocking. So it's either you're asking for the exact match of what's there for you, and then you get it. Yes, you got it, right? Sometimes you're asking, but you do not have the capacity to receive. Like you're asking for 7 figures and you can barely handle $50,000, right? You're struggling to look at your bank account. You are like, oh my gosh, it's like, people who ask for a 7-figure business but don't want to be visible, don't want to get out there, don't want to put in the time to personally develop to the woman who manages a 7-figure business. Like your container is not yet ready to receive. And if God, universe, source gave you, it would shatter you, right? So that's why sometimes it's not now. But my favorite one is something better. I have found that honestly, if I just ask believing I receive, every time it seems like it's a no, it's always just information, because it's like, honey, you're asking for something that's a 5 out of 10. When over here in escrow, I have a 10 out of 10 thing for you, and you're not asking for it, right? You're asking me for a 5 out of 10. I'm not going to give that to you. That's beneath you, right? So in those moments, it's just information to make you, reflect on, did I really ask for did I ask for my 10 out of 10? Or was I trying to settle? Right? And so being able to distinguish that, like there's so many nuances to this asking, but the piece that I want you to hear is you have to start the ask believing that you've already received. And so if you truly believe, then when you go to ask, it's actually a thank you. So in my journals, you'll never see I want, I need, I'm asking for. Everything that I journal about when I ask is always framed in a thank you. It's why we journal, I'm so happy and grateful that I have received, in an easy and relaxed manner for the highest good of all, right? Like I have already received. That's the piece. Okay. All right. Wow. Look at the time. I love this. I could talk forever about this. Now let's jump into number 4. So number 1 is ask the formula. Number 1 is the formula of the 5 lessons. Number 1, ask, and you have to ask. If you're not asking, you're not going to get. So if you're out there doing this all on your own, then you can't really blame manifesting, right? So ask believing that you have already received, and you will receive. That's the formula. The second part is ask. Are you asking, and are you asking for what you really want? The third part is ask believing that you've already received, so that when you go to ask, your ask is actually a thank you, because you already received it. You don't need to ask for it. You already received it. The moment you acknowledge you want it, you have already received. So you actually are saying thank you. Okay. That's how, like, you want to turn your manifesting up 10 notches. Start saying thank you instead of asking. The last one, the fourth one is always be asking. So high achieving women, and especially those of us that grew up in very strict Christian religious homes or cultures, one of the things was be humble, settle for what you have, don't ask for more than what you need. So, what do we do when we go to ask? We ask for just enough. We ask only when our back's against the wall. We ask when we are desperate. And it's like, no, ask all the time. What does this scripture say? It is your Father's pleasure to give you the kingdom. It's your Father's pleasure to give it to you. But God, Universe, Source is not going to force this on you. The only way you're going to receive this incredible abundance is when you ask. So, you know what? Ask all the time. Ask for everything, every little thing in your business, in your finances. Ask, always be asking. I look back at my manifesting journey. And I've been at this for 15 or more years. And one of the things I realized when I look at the seasons of my life where I was like manifesting, like, just like, this is insane. Are you kidding me? How is how is this my life? When that was happening, I was asking all the time. Like every single day, I created what I call a manifested list. And I would play this little game with myself. I would put stuff on there that wouldn't be, it's not going to move the needle in my business. Like I would say, I'm so happy and grateful I saw pink birds today. I saw a giraffe. I'm so happy and grateful I saw a purple butterfly. Why? Because when I practice like always asking, so my Father gets the pleasure of giving to me, I have so much fun and my brain is like, damn, okay, I got you. You are stepping outside of this limited version of who I think you are, and you really are experiencing your power. And then it reorganizes my reticular activating system and it starts super laser focusing from that power versus the limited Tasha that it thinks I am. Okay. So here we go. We are going to always be asking. Forget your little childhood stuff that says, why do you want so much? Why are you always asking? Why do you need all this stuff? Release it. Release the shame. Release the, stuff that just kept you from asking. Ask for everything. Ask every day, big and small. Number 5. This is for what to do after you ask. Okay. And this is how can I ask so I'm always receiving? Okay, listen, remember the formula says ask believing that you have already received. Therefore, and this is where a lot of women do everything right up until this point, you ask and then you just go do it yourself. What is the point, right? Like God gets no glory in that. It's like, all right, well, you didn't really need me. You didn't need the magic, like you got this, girl. You do it. Do you? I'm just going to sit over here and wait for somebody else who will do this part. This is where, like, if asking and believing takes it up 10 notches, this part takes it up 100. Okay? Ask and allow. Just get out of the damn way. Excuse my French. Just get out of the way. Stop trying to micromanage the process. Do not micromanage the process. It's not your part. Your part is not to figure out how it's going to happen. And when you get involved, you mess the whole thing up. Right? Because you're going to go overwork. You're going to try to figure it out. You're going to attract the wrong things. When I was there trying to ask and then do it myself, I was attracting the wrong type of clients, the wrong type of man. I was investing in the wrong things because I was asking and then I was using my own logical brain to figure out the how. The how is not your part. Allow yourself to receive. If you believe that you've already received, then you don't need to hustle for it. You don't need to overthink this any further. You don't need to lay awake at night going, where is it? When you plant a seed, if you dig it up every day, it's not going to grow. But if you plant it and you just go water it every day because it's done, like it's going to be this beautiful tree in your backyard, you just allow it to grow. That's where the magic happens. So, are you micromanaging the process after you ask? Are you worrying? The second you start worrying about it, you block the process. right? Are you going and then just hustling to make it happen? Block the process, right? So don't be needy, don't be worried, don't be anxious, don't be attached. All of those things get in the way after you ask. You literally cut it off at its knees if you start doing all of that stuff. Again, I look back at the things, and every single week I make a manifested list for my business and my life and my marriage and my kids. Every single week I'm asking, every Sunday, at a minimum every Sunday. Now, I told you when I'm really in high gear is when I'm doing this every day, but every single Sunday I ask. And then the next Sunday before I write my next ask, I check off what I manifested. And every single time I look, I mean, it's like a science project for me. I'm like, well, what happened here? What happened? Oh, I just let it happen. I totally forgot I even wrote it. That's what happened. I totally forgot. And so in doing so, I just allowed it. No, it doesn't mean I'm sitting here eating bonbons all day after I ask. That's not it at all, right? I am out there in action, but not from the place of I'm attached, I'm worried, I'm trying to make it happen. Okay, that's all I got for you today. I'm going to leave you with this last thing. Tomorrow is 11/11. It's a super powerful, activated day energetically. This is a powerful time to ask. My gift to you, every one of you watching, type the word reminder and check your DMs. Hang on, let me put this on here just in case anyone forgot how to spell reminder. Type the word reminder, check your DMs. I am going to put you on a list to send you the Zoom link. Actually, I think what we're going to do is we're going to give you an add event link. So you add this to your calendar. My gift to you is tomorrow, 11/11 at 11 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to bring you together. I'll curate the energy and we're going to do like this massive, powerful ask. Where two or more are gathered, the energy is magnified. So why not let's come together? I'm going to guide you. It's only 11 minutes. So on 11/11 at 11 for 11 minutes, I'm going to guide you through this massive ask session. All you have to do is show up. So type the word reminder, check your DM. We will send you the link. And if for some reason that doesn't work for you, like you don't get the DM, no worries. Just email support@tashachen.com and we'll make sure you get the link. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, for 11 minutes, we're going to do a massive ask. I'm talking about the type of ask where there's so many, and invite your friends. Like if you know a bunch of women, don't let anybody do their asking alone on 11/11. Bring your mother, your daughter, your girlfriend, your cousin, every woman you know, just share the link, get them all there. Let's do this together tomorrow. This is the kind of energy that lets the universe go, oh, okay, let me focus on this group over here. They got it going on. I will curate the energy and the space. All you have to do is show up with your pen and your journal. All right. So that's tomorrow. And every woman who shows up tomorrow, I am going to give you an additional gift of being the very first to pre-order my new book, Dear Wealthy Me. This is happening. Okay. I'm still over here like this, but this is a whole story about asking, and I'm going to tell it in the next couple of weeks. But every one of you that's been hearing me talk about wealthy me, activating your wealthy me, getting your brain to accept that as your identity, you want to be the first to get this book. All right. So type reminder. I'll see you tomorrow at the end of the event. I'll give you the link so you can all be the first to pre-order the book. Well, love you all. Have a great Monday. Bye.